Hi everybody, it's Trish. I just wanted to do like a really quick video, just sort of about the creative things I've been working on in the last week or so, just so everyone can sort of see what I've been up to. One thing I want to talk about is that I did some shopping over the weekend and I came across this really cool game. It's called Whatchamadraw It. Hopefully you can see that. I think I paid, I don't know, maybe 10 bucks. I got it at Marshall's. I think it's really fun. I don't know that it's a game that I will necessarily play with other people, but it's certainly something I'll use myself. It's basically just a big deck of cards that are full of drawing prompts. The first one says, well, this one right here says, draw a flower with tentacles and a snout. This was the first one I pulled out, and I actually did draw this one, and I'll show it to you in a few minutes. It's in one of my sketchbooks over here. But so yeah, it's got a little. I think the idea is you're supposed to, you know, play with several people, and then you have a judge that chooses whose drawing is the best or something like that. But most likely, I'll just use these myself, just for sort of prompts and ideas of, you know, fun things I want to do and draw if I'm stumped or just want to try something new. Anyway, I'm really excited about this. I thought it was a really cool find. So, I don't know. It's actually made by the Imagineers. If you see that, the W is like the Disney W. It's actually a Disney Imagineers product. So, I don't know. I'm sure it's on Amazon or something. But if I can find a link, I'll put one in the box down low so you can check it out. But I think it's really fun. I also went out and looked for a new watercolor palette. This is my watercolor palette. I've had it for years, probably 3 years. You know, this is broken. This thing pops off all the time. It's just plastic. It's got cracks everywhere. I've tried to tape it up a bunch of times. Every time I pull it out of my bag, I hear it crack again. It's like, I mean, it's like a kid set. It's super lame. Some of my colors are, you know, I'm starting to get low on my gray, this light blue, my kind of golden yellow, my light brown. So the colors I use the most often, I was starting to run out, and I was kind of thinking, well, I have some tube watercolors. I guess I could just squeeze some in there and fill her back up. I was like, but man, this thing is really just falling apart. So I decided it was time to get a new small, I needed something small because this is the palette that I take with me when I go out and about. I do have one other travel palette. I have this Sakura Koi pocket filled sketch box. It's pretty popular. If you're interested in watercolors at all, I'm sure you've seen it. I do not love this palette. I find that this kid's cheap, probably $3 or $4 palette, I enjoy using more. The problem with these is that they're just so chalky. When they dry, they're very, very chalky and very dry, and I don't care for them. So I have this one, but this is not one that I was really excited to use. So I was looking for something to replace this, but not this. So what I ended up getting, which I've tried several times and I'm very happy with so far, is this travel set from De La Rowney. It's the Aqua Fine. It's a metal tin, which I love because that means when I throw it in my bag and take it out and abuse it, hopefully it'll last a little bit longer, since that plastic one certainly didn't. I love that it has this cool color key on the top. It's got mixing spaces that pop right out so that you can clean them out. And it actually has a brush that's decent. You know, sometimes these travel sets come, you know, they always come with a brush, but the brush is usually crap. I'm a water brush girl anyway, but in a pinch, this is actually a decent brush. So I have had the chance to try these out a few times, and so far they are great. They're not chalky at all. The colors are so vibrant. I'm really happy with this. I think maybe this was 25 bucks, but of course I used a coupon, so it was 40% off, so I probably paid like maybe 15 or something, but I think it's a great value for that. So if you're looking for something small and portable, I would recommend this. I think it's great. Something else that I came across over the weekend while I was shopping, I went to Goodwill. I always like to look at the books and just see if there's anything interesting and old and, you know, like an old dictionary or just something with really cool pictures. But I came across this book. It's a foreign language. I'm not sure what. From looking at it, I don't know if you can read any of that, if it's focusing in or not, but my guess from my very limited experience is that it looks like it could be Turkish, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm really excited to use these pages in my art journal or in whatever, because I think look at the text is just beautiful. It's really cool. So I did grab this at, like I said, Goodwill. I mean, I think if I paid $1, maybe 50 cents, I don't know. It wasn't much. So I'm pretty excited about that. Other stuff I have been working on. Let's see. This is just my daily journal book that I always write in. So here's just some of the stuff I've done in the last week or so. Here's a picture of my husband. He baked cookies the other day. He and I had a really fun little date the other night, so drew our hands and some hearts. This was Halloween. That was the day I got my new watercolor palette, so here I just did a little sample sheet and stuck that in, just did a little tip in, and I painted a pumpkin with that same watercolor set. This was a gorgeous fall day, and I was trying to use chalk pastels, but this paper just really wasn't. This is just a, you know, regular sketchbook, and this paper was not feeling it. I tried to add water, so the paper just, like, you can see on this leaf, it just started to just shred. It did not go well, but I think my son turned out great, and this leaf is like a wonky shape anyway. This one turned out really cute. I love this little drawing of my cat. The other night I was down here in my studio and she just kept wandering around and meowing, and she's just such a lap cat, and she really wanted to get on my lap, and she can't do that when I'm down here because there's not room on my lap for her to lay there. So she just wandered around crying and crying, and so finally I picked her cat bed up off the floor, cleared off this side of my whole table, and put the bed up here, and she crawled right into it and fell asleep. It was the cutest thing. So I drew a picture of her. Here is this is just my regular art journal. It's just full of, you know, just junk, and this is just sort of where I play. And I had some time on Sunday morning, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do. And, you know, the time changed, so I had a bonus hour. So I decided to bust out my oil pastels, and I just sort of started playing with them and, you know, trying, you know, blending them together in different colors and just that kind of thing. But I think the texture here just looks so beautiful. It's so pretty. I'm really, really happy with how just this whole page came together. I don't use oil pastels too often. I'm not sure why. Probably just because they're a little bit messy and I don't always have a ton of time, but I sure do love the way they blend together, and it just such a beautiful effect. So this was just playing around and, you know, just sort of seeing what would happen, and I'm really, really happy with it. I think it turned out great. Let's see. I also have, here's my sort of on-the-go sketchbook that I take around with me. Here is my, I hope you can see this because it's not very dark, pencil. This is my flower with tentacles and a snout that I drew from the card. I think it turned out really cute. I like it. I drew this on Halloween. I think it turned out nice. It was fun. It's fun to have a crazy prompt like that. Here is a little doodle I did. I was out at a brewery with a friend of mine, and I wanted to try out my new watercolor palette, so I did this. And like I said, look how vibrant those colors are. They're so beautiful, and it doesn't feel waxy at all. It feels nice and smooth, and I'm really happy with that palette. So if you're looking for one, I cannot recommend it enough. I'm very pleased with it so far. So that was just a quick little doodle. This is just a little drawing I did the other night while I was waiting for some friends. Just a real quick little cartoony monster guy. I think that's about it. Everything else in here is pretty much just... So that's it for me. That's what I've been working on this week. If you guys enjoy sort of seeing, you know, what I've been up to, I'd be happy to do these a little bit more often. It's rare that I actually have time to sit down and film myself working on something. A lot of it is because I don't usually do it here. I do it when I'm out and about and on the go, and I try to fit art in whenever I can, wherever I can. So it's difficult for me to sort of make a video of me working on a project, but it's much easier for me to do something like this, just a quick little recap of what I've been working on. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a great week, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much.